everybody, welcome back to the Daughter Arise YouTube channel. My name is Yvonne and today I want to do a quick video on self-care. So one of the areas that I think that I had a lot of problems in my recovery from abuse was looking after myself. I had depression on and off for 19 years, and during those episodes of depression I would completely shut down. One of the areas I would shut down in is eating. So I remember a particular time just before I had my first nervous breakdown at 22 years old. I lost a lot of weight. I mean, seriously, just a lot of weight. I just completely stopped eating. I was very sad. I was preoccupied with my problems. I was depressed, and my appetite just was not there. And even when there were times where I did eat, I would eat things like junk food, food that had no nutritional value to my body. So one of the things that you can do that will help you if you are going through this is to eat little and often. It doesn't have to be big things or big meals. I mean, you could eat like protein bars or breakfast bars. Other foods you can eat are salads, soups, vegetables, and some food you can just get, and it is more a thing of being able to just have convenience where they have it already made up for you, like microwave meals. Not the best for long-term eating strategies, but eating nutritional food that has vegetables, pastas or soups really will help you. As I said, you might not be able to eat 3 meals a day, but trying to eat things that will add nutritional value to your body will really help you. Also as well, drinking plenty of fluids, and by that I don't mean alcohol. I mean, for me, when I was going through that period, or when I went through those periods of depression, I didn't eat much food, but I can tell you that those days would involve me drinking alcohol. And that's not a liquid. That is not a drink that is nutritional for your body or that will help your body or hydrate your body. But I would smoke cigarettes and I would drink alcohol. So instead of drinking alcohol, try, and if you do have a problem in this area where when you want to blot out things, you drink to forget or to try and escape for a while, try drinking things like fruit juices and water, and drink lots of water. I think it's recommended that you drink 2.5 litres of water a day. That sounds like a lot, but I mean, even drinking 1 litre of water a day or 2 pints or 3 pints of water a day will really help you. So it's important that you look after yourself, you keep hydrated and put the right food and the right liquids into your body, so that overall your well-being, your physical well-being has more positivity. It will help you to be more alert and give you energy as well, because when you don't eat, or you eat foods that are of no benefit to your body, it can make you feel lethargic and make you feel like you have no energy. So eat well. Okay, so the second thing in self-care is the importance of exercise. Now, I have been exercising consistently for the last 10 years, ever since the birth of my second daughter. Before, I used to do exercise now and then, and to be honest with you, because I was quite slim, I didn't really think about the benefits of exercise as something that inside is good for your heart or your energy or anything like that, because on the outside I didn't look like I needed to exercise. Well, that was my mindset back then. But for the last 10 years I have exercised consistently. I go to the gym, I exercise 4 to 5 times a week, and I do all types of exercise. Now, exercise is good because it releases endorphins, a chemical that is released in the brain that gives you that feel-good factor. Now, I have found that exercise has been key in me being able to overcome depression. and not being able to take tablets. Before, I used to be on depression tablets, and these things have side effects and make you feel quite groggy and everything. But the natural chemicals of endorphins that are released in your brain give you that feel good factor, and it helps to overcome depression. That is my testimony. That is what I believe. As I said, I've been exercising for 10 years, and exercise has helped me immensely. And I can't imagine a week goes by where I'm not doing jogging or Taibo or walking or doing something that is invigorating, that is helping me, that is adding value to my life and to my body. When I went for my last checkup at the doctor, my doctor said to me, I have the blood pressure of a 16-year-old. And I take that as a compliment. I do like to look after myself. But that wasn't always the case. When I had depression, I would not do anything. I would not feel like doing anything. Everything, even to go and get dressed or washed and everything like that, seemed such a chore. But even if you are not a big fan of exercise and you know, not into gym, you don't have to be into gym. You could watch things on YouTube. There's loads of different exercises. You could do Pilates. You could do cardio. There's so many different videos on YouTube. You don't have to exercise around people at the gym. A lot of people do feel self-conscious about that. But you can exercise at home. You can go for walks, you know, walk to your park or walk around your area, and try and maybe see if a friend or somebody will go with you to give you that support in doing that. But exercise is so important in the overall physical and emotional well-being as well. And I can definitely say that it has helped me with depression. So get moving and do exercise. Okay, so this is an area that I am going to do a completely different video on, and it's going to probably be three-part segments, and that is in there looking after your health. And what I mean by that, not your mental health like I've just discussed with depression. I'm talking about areas like, for instance, smear tests, going to the dentist, going to the hospital, going to doctors for checkups. I myself have had problems in when I was younger in going for smear tests, and the reason why is because being in a place of being vulnerable and letting somebody examine you used to fill me with absolute fear. I'm not going to lie. It's something that as I said, I'm going to talk about in more details because I think it's sometimes really underlooked. It's not that people don't or women don't want to go and get that help to, you know, go and have smears. But it is really a process, and allowing somebody to do the examination puts you in a place of vulnerability. And a lot of people, I had that problem. I don't want to be in a position where I feel weak or vulnerable. But it is important to our health that, you know, we go and get smear tests, and, you know, we go to the dentist and do these things. Healthcare and looking after your personal health is important. It's important to look after how, you know, your inside health as well as your outside. You know, as I said, you only have one body, and there are things that you can do that can help you in going for smears or going to the dentist, because these people are health professionals. Obviously they understand confidentiality. You can maybe explain to them a little bit beforehand, like for your smear, that, you know, you are a survivor, you've been through sexual abuse, and, you know, you are nervous about having a smear. They are there to help you, and it will give them a little bit of an insight about you, and they will be able to walk you through the process while they are doing the smear and check if you're okay. Also as well, you can have somebody, a friend or a family member, go along with you to kind of give you that support in those areas. And it's the same for the dentist as well. There are survivors out there who obviously have problems with in the same respect as well. It's not about the dentist or going for a smear. It's about being in an area where somebody is doing something to you that makes you feel vulnerable. So I would suggest having support when you go along for those things, for those examinations, to help you to be able to do it. And you will find that once you have done it, I'm not saying it will get easier as such, but you will know what to expect. It is so important that you go for smear tests, because obviously there is a risk of cervical cancer, and also as well with dental care and stuff like that, there is a risk of gum disease and different things like that. So try and get support to go to these appointments, or to make the appointment, have somebody go along with you, and also as well explain to the dentist, the nurse, a little bit. You don't have to tell them your whole life story. Tell them, a little bit that you're a survivor of abuse and you don't feel comfortable, but you're here, and I'm sure they will walk you through it. Okay, sleep. Sleep is important in self-care. If you can't sleep, if you don't sleep, you won't be able to function, you won't be able to concentrate, you won't be able to do anything. Now, I can speak firsthand about this, because sleep problems is something that I have had problems with for quite a long time. Not so much recently, but especially when I was going through depression, I would have problems with going to sleep. So when I did go to sleep, it would be in the daytime, and then at night time I would be up. Or in the night time I would go to bed, get to bed for 10 o'clock or whatever, but by 1 o'clock I would be up, worrying about things, feeling anxiety, and finding it hard to go back to sleep. And then when I eventually go back to sleep, it would be like 6, 7 in the morning. By that time I have to be up and I have to be awake and doing the things I need to do. Now, the effects of not having no sleep left me with no energy, hard to concentrate, added more to depression, anxiety, and low mood. Wasn't able to kind of decipher things that I was thinking about. It really does play a lot of havoc with your life and lifestyle when you can't sleep. Now, as I said, I've been through depression, and I understand, and suffered from anxiety, so I understand that it's very hard to get to sleep. So there's some things that I have found that have helped me that possibly could help you. Number one, turning off social media, apps, TV and stuff at a reasonable time. So maybe winding it down by 10 o'clock. I found that reading books, doing, lying in my bed, maybe listening to the radio on low, helped me to kind of get into a mode of relaxing. Before that, one of the things that I would do is to have a warm bath, a nice bath, and relax in the bath. Baths are lovely for relaxing the muscles, the mind, putting lots of bubbles in the bath and relaxing. And then coming out in that relaxed state, maybe having a nice hot chocolate and getting into bed for a reasonable time helped me. And locking off, the TV and mobiles is so easy nowadays, because we have phones and we have computers, to be on them all the time. And what happens is that it overstimulates our minds, which leaves us, if we're on it past 10, 11 o'clock, leaves us in a state where we're not winding down and getting to that point where we can sleep. So even if you can't sleep, you can read a book, and you can relax that way with the radio on low. I think that doing things in the daytime, whether it's exercise or doing things that kind of get the heartbeat up a bit as well, can help to make the body tired, the mind tired. So by the time it comes to going to bed, you're feeling tired and stuff like that. I have in short periods used sleeping tablets. I didn't like the ones that the doctor gave me, and I've had those at different periods when I've suffered from depression. But you can get herbal ones, and Nytol. Nytol was okay, but I prefer to try and use natural methods to help me to kind of wind down and get to sleep. Also as well, the things that cause depression and anxiety, that cause us to, have problems going to sleep, can sometimes be kept within us. The problems are swirling around in your head, the issues. It does help to talk. talking to somebody about some of those things that are keeping you awake at night can really help you. So that is my advice to you. Talk to somebody about the things that are keeping you awake at night. Have warm baths, do exercise, that gets the heart rate up. Look off, tablets, mobiles, TVs, at stuff at a reasonable times, and read a book so that your mind can wind down and you can get some sleep. It might take weeks. I would go through this cycle maybe 2-3 weeks, sometimes a month, and then after a while my body would regulate itself, and by using these different strategies that I've explained to you that helped, then I would go back to sleeping reasonably well. I sleep for maybe 6 hours a night, and I do read in the evenings, and I like to pray, I like to read my Bible. That for me really has helped me as well. I talk to God, I talk to him about my issues, I pray to him, I ask him for his peace, and that really has helped me as well. So make sure that you are doing things that will help you to get good sleep. Okay, so lastly, the importance of emotional care. By emotional care, as I've just said when I was talking at the end of getting the right amount of sleep and sleeping well, is about looking after your emotional well-being. So things like counseling, journaling, talking to somebody you trust about your issues, about things that are worrying you, writing them down. All these things help towards your emotional care. Now, one of the things that a lot of people struggle with, including myself, at times, is internalizing emotional pain. When we internalize emotional pain, it has all this effect on us. All the things that I've talked about, in all those areas, it affects us. So it's important that you are able to find an outlet where you can talk. Now, on other videos I've shared about, even if you don't feel comfortable talking to somebody face to face, you can call helplines, confidentially. Any way that you can find to express inner emotions, inner pain, things that are causing you to, causing a lot of problems within you. It's important that emotionally you get help to deal with them. So, even if you need to get support, this organisation, Daughter Arises, here to support people who have problems in these areas. And if there is an area that we can't help you in, we're quite happy to let you know of other organisations or helplines that can help you also. So that is it. Look after yourself. Take away from this video whatever you will, but always remember it is important to look after yourself. You only have one body, one life, and you won't get another one. So look after yourself in all those areas. It might take time. Nothing happens overnight, but if by just putting in those small progressive steps, you will see results. Okay, so that is it. Check out my other videos. Please like, share and subscribe. And also check out my website, www.daughterarise.org.uk, where I have resources on there, my blog that I write every month. Check them out. You might be able to find some things in there that will help you. Okay, so till next time, look after yourself and take care.